All right, everybody, and welcome to our PPC ranking bootcamp. So you guys probably have a ton of questions about what we're going to be covering in this bootcamp, and we will get to all of those in just a second. We're excited to have a bunch of people that we met at the Prosper Show in Las Vegas. What was that, a week ago?
Last week.
A week and a half ago?
Last week.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Maybe I should also intro myself. My name is Curtis Johnson. I'm the president of Managed by Stats. I am also joined over here by Mark Jepson, who is the CEO of PPC Logic, and then Rob Kaplan, the CEO of PPC Logic. And yeah, we've got a lot of content for these guys, don't we? Yeah, so much so we decided to break it into a 3-part boot camp. Just so you guys also understand how we're going to do this, we're going to cover part one, because you will probably have a bunch of questions. We're going to do a question and answer session, not as part of this, but you're going to send us in your questions in the comments, and then we're going to do a dedicated question and answer as a separate thing. So with that, I don't want to really steal too much of your guys' thunder because you guys are the experts on this. So I'm going to turn it over to Mark and Rob.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so we basically wanted to kind of show you guys the 3 different areas that a lot of people don't connect together, and it's the integral parts of actually making sure your advertising will be successful. And you can't just jump into the advertising and start rolling with different things. You need to have some things in place before you do that. And so we kind of call this, or I kind of nicknamed this, the trifecta. It's these three elements that you need to have in place in order to have successful PPC. And this is kind of, a lot of people teach these different points, but you don't often see these 3 points being tied together in this way. And this is what we feel a lot of sellers are missing in their PPC functions that they do. So wanted to just jump into that. Anything you wanted to add to that, Rob?
And thus the title, which originally was The Missing Link, is the pieces that connect it all. So to speak, the glue. There's little nuances and pieces that we're finding that people are leaving out. And when they leave it out, all of a sudden it'll hit us and we're like, oh, wait a minute, but roll that back and we'll get them to tell us what they said again, and we'll realize, no, wait a second, you're missing a piece because they either chose a wrong competitor or they somehow figured out the keywords wrong and went after search volume, and they didn't understand search frequency and the new terminology of SFR, which is actually the money keywords. Yep. And they would miss critical pieces that then they'd either build their listing wrong, not use the right phrases, or they would end up designing campaigns that would not be effective in their pay-per-click.
Yep. So I wanted to just cover what the trifecta is. We're going to cover the first point of the trifecta in this webinar. But I want to cover what that whole structure is, and then we'll dive into the details, because there's a lot of little nuances that you have to think with when going through these things. And if you don't know these things, you could be doing something that is going to be wasteful in the future when you actually are doing your advertising. So the first point of the trifecta is your listing itself. You need to make sure that your listing is a quality listing. So all the things that you probably already know of, making sure you have a good image stack. So all 5 or 7 or 9 of your images are nice, good quality. You need to have good title, bullet points, description, all that kind of stuff. But when you're doing that, you need to make sure that your analysis of the competitors or the other people in that area, in that arena, which competitors you want to get those keywords from. So what keywords are your competitors actually ranking for or showing up for? You want to find out what those keywords are and make sure you have those keywords built into your listing. So that's the first point of the trifecta. The second point is, after you have all those keywords into your listing, you want to make sure you're tracking those on some kind of keyword tracker. So in Managed by Stats, you have that keyword tracker tool. You can just put those in there and have them tracking where you're actually showing up organically for those keywords. That's the second point. And then there's going to be there's a little bit of nuances of what keywords to go after from that in your PPC. And that's the third point of the trifecta, is taking those keywords, and you're going to be advertising on probably all the keywords that are relevant to your product. But if you're going to be doing any kind of ranking or launching campaign or any kind of dedicated push on certain keywords, you're going to need to know which ones to go after. And doing that in your PPC is all going to be based off of the second and first point of the trifecta. So,
well, also an interesting point, you were very insightful in naming it. You want to go over the definition, because with a trifecta, right, you have to win and have the winning horse, the second and third place if you want to win. And we feel that you need all three of these pieces if you want to win and win big with both your listing and ranking.
Yep. Exactly. So I think we should just dive in. We picked a product that we're going to kind of do this analysis on. So it's going to be, fresh. We haven't analyzed this product before. So let's jump right in. This is the product right here. So it's a Unbreakable Titan plastic whiskey glasses. So what I'm going to do is, the first thing we want to do is pick the money keyword, or the main keyword that we want to go after. So in this case, I'm thinking probably unbreakable whiskey glasses is probably going to be the main kind of thing. We have Triton as kind of a key element in there, but there could be other types of unbreakable glasses. So maybe unbreakable plastic whiskey glasses. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, and when you guys look for what are the proper phrases to insert, I usually like to try to incorporate as many of the pieces of the phrase that's going to pull up competitors who may or may not rank if you did a shorter phrase. So for instance, this is one of the missing pieces. If you put in just unbreakable, you may get certain competitors who, let's say they were missing unbreakable. But if you had unbreakable shatterproof plastic whiskey glasses, you're now getting both sides of that. You got the unbreakable and shatterproof, that you're capturing those competitors that are trying to push and rank for that. And you want to be all encompassing. You want to throw out that large net, and you want to pull in the competitors that you're going to have to go up against to get to rank on page one. So I would look at this and probably do unbreakable plastic or unbreakable shatterproof plastic whiskey glasses.
Cool, let's give it a try. Let's just do a new search in here. All right. Unbreakable shatterproof whiskey glasses. Okay. So now we got all the guys that are showing up on page one. We obviously have an banner ad at the top, but now we're going to look at the different products in here. So this is a sponsored, but then we have this guy right here. He's also showing up organically on position one.
And one other quick thing that I see here, if you go back to the title, scroll back up. You know what we might do here? Once you see the competitors, and this is great that we did it this way, because if you're missing a word, or you see that, whoa, wait a second, there's a really great word that intuitively should be included, you can always go back and change the search. I would do unbreakable, shatterproof, and put either cocktail, whiskey, or whiskey cocktail. Do whiskey cocktail glasses. And let's see if it changes the results at all. And this should be a really great seed phrase to find our competitors. And I think now we're also going to get some players who use the word cocktail.
Right. Right.
And if we pull all those together, this should really help check out the landscape in the field of who's out there. Because the goal here, guys, is to remember, you want to find the keywords and phrases that you want to rank for, and who's already competing for those keywords and phrases. And this is a great way to do it. And now Mark and I will work through, how do we choose which competitors?
Yep. So the first thing that I want to look at is who is ranking the best. So the top guys. So these top guys up here, these next ones down here. But I want to look at also, because we've heard this datum of Amazon is broken, over the years. So you could have someone who's a brand new product and is just doing some crazy promotion and ranking efforts, and they only have 4 reviews, right? But they're just shooting really aggressively. So you could have a seller up here that's on the first, second, third position when they're just a brand new seller. So you want to look at who's ranking up here, but also are they experienced? Are they an experienced seller, or are they a seasoned seller? You know that they have some reviews. Their star rating is okay. You know, they don't just have one review or something like that. So that's the first thing that I'm going to look at. So I'm going to take this guy. We can see he's obviously advertising really aggressively because he's showing up right here. And then he's right here. So let's take him. He's probably got some good SEO. I'm going to open him up on a new tab. This one here, 4.5 stars, 360 reviews. Yep, looks like it's good. They got Amazon's choice on this one. So we'll open up that one as well. Tossware Reserve, 12 ounce, old fashioned set of Triton dishwasher safe. Yep, this looks like a similar product. 290 reviews. So I'm going to open up this one. So now we got the 3 top competitors, or the 3 top sellers, I should say, potentially. Let's dive into some other ones. This one's a little bit different style, different style, different style. So here's our product.
Now those are still competitors, different styles, still competitors.
Yep.
And also, as we're going through this, guys, obviously the guys at the top are ranking the best. So you want to see what they're ranking for. And of course, we're going to choose those as competitors. But remember, we want to get onto the page, and we're also going to be competing with, yes, the top players are who you want to go and emulate, but we're probably going to be competing mostly with the guys that are middle of the page.
Right.
So if you're on page 3 or 4 and you can get to page 1 and be in the middle, oh my God, you'd be jumping up and down. So don't always assume that, oh, you're going to be 1, 2, or 3 right out of the box.
Right.
You want to get on page 1 and little by little by little creep up to the top. So we want to get a collection of a few samples of a few players, the top guys and the middle.
Yep.
So if we're going to choose maybe, what, 10?
Yeah, I'd say 8 to 10 people. Yep.
So let's get some from the middle and then some from further down.
Yeah, let's see if there's some other ones that are more exactly matching our type of product. So we can see we're just kind of the simple kind of old-fashioned look, where without well, I guess this is old-fashioned, but it's kind of the simple, plain look that we have on these ones.
But you know, also what I noticed, here's another word that, and this is what you try to do. You see how this title has the word reusable?
Yep.
So I would grab one of these guys because we know that they're using the word reusable in their title, and they have a lot of reviews. So we know we're going to grab another keyword and see how it ranks.
Yes, smart. Okay, perfect. All right, so we got here, this guy's got 55, 100. Here's 1,200. A little bit of a different mold, but still very much a competitor of ours. So let's take that. A little bit more of a wine thing, but they are saying tumbler and whiskey in there. So let's shelf that for a second, maybe.
And something else to point out, for the same reason that I just said that about reusable, the competitor you just chose is excellent because you see how it's also incorporating ideal for bourbon and scotch. So we know it's picking up the words bourbon and scotch, so that as we choose these competitors for our analysis, we're going to end up seeing how those words rank. We may find in the analysis that maybe bourbon is phenomenal, or maybe it really doesn't even do anything and doesn't rank well. So then why go after bourbon?
Right.
So I like the idea that it's got those in the title.
Nice. That's awesome. Okay, good. So let's see what else we got. This one's kind of similar. Let's see. Stacking. Titan dishwasher. Whiskey glasses clear. 16 reviews. So let's go to the next one. Drink LA Rocks. Unbreakable. Titan whiskey. 10 instead of 4 clear. Yeah, I mean, 100 reviews. Let's take them just in case. See how we got 1 review on this guy here. These are a lot different types of glasses, so it doesn't really make sense to go after those. Here's another one, whiskey glasses. This might be an actual glass.
Doesn't say.
It doesn't say. It's probably an actual glass product. It's got 1,200. We might have some good keywords we can get from these guys. So we're obviously trying to emulate with a plastic.
Yeah, but what you point out is true. See here, it even says glassware, and this is not relevant. It's not shatterproof. It's not unbreakable.
Right.
It's kind of a whole different category of product.
Right. Exactly. Now, I'm probably going to want to pick it just in case it has some good keywords that we want to show up for those type of people, but obviously we're going to exclude glass, in the keywords that we're going to be putting in our
Would you be concerned? The other thing is the low price.
They're super low price. Yeah. But for keyword analysis, we can maybe find some stuff that they might have that other people don't have. It's worth doing. They obviously have a lot of reviews, so they're 5-star products. So they probably have some good SEO on their back end. Okay, here's another one here. Party Proof. It's a sponsored. Yep. Okay. Okay.
And just as a quick note there, on the sponsored ad guys, they're doing well with their pay-per-click there, but you don't know how aggressive, you don't know what they're spending per click, and it could mislead you. And just because they're there on page one, again, they're paying to be there, you don't know what they paid for the click, I would ignore those sponsored ads.
Yep.
Because we're looking here, in this analysis, we're looking for the organic players.
Right, exactly right. Here's another one, kind of similar. It's maybe more for water, but they show some other kind of drinks in there. They got 170, so that's probably okay. Pull up that. How many we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're up to 8 now. Let's get 2 more if we can. So these are different types of glasses. Here we go. This is this got bestseller. This is an 8-piece set, 18,000 reviews. Holy moly! All right, let's grab these guys to see what they got. And then these guys here, this is a set of 6, 14 reviews. Let's go down a little bit more. We might need to go back up if there's no one else here. Amazon Basics. So, okay, Amazon's jumping into this whole arena as well. So this is going to be their actual Amazon brand. So we'll grab them, see what kind of SEO they have. And I think that does it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So that's pretty good. So I'm going to take now all of these products. What I like to do inside of Managed by Stats, when you're using this Keyword Scout tool, this is the reverse ASIN tool, we're going to be analyzing all of these guys, but what I like to do is see how my product compares to the other products, right? So I'm going to take this product here, and I'm going to grab my ASIN, which is right here, copy that, and I'm going to put that one first. So I want to see how I'm comparing to all the others. So now I'm going to add in all the other ones. So I think we started from here. No, from the next one here. There we go. So I'm going to grab this, copy that, bring it over here, paste it.
While you're pasting those in, one of the things, guys, is if you have any questions, make note for our Q&A of anything in this process that you didn't get or that you want to question or challenge. We tried to get a diverse amount of players who are relevant, who are on the first page from top to bottom, and we wanted to make sure we also went out of our way to include competitors that maybe had keywords not in our search and had other keywords that seemed to be strongly relevant that we may not have caught, because that's going to force picking up those keywords. What that will do is it will give us an analysis of, are those keywords meaningful or not? Because once we check out the SFR and we check out the data, we'll know whether or not we want to include those keywords. And that should give you a pretty complete competitive analysis of who's on the first page.
Exactly. This is going to be a very nice analysis point here. All right, so let's see. Just about there. And this is like we said, a lot of people don't think with doing this in depth of an analysis when building out their listing, and this is such a crucial part of everything else that you're going to be doing with your listing, with your advertising, and trying to market your product effectively. Okay, last one here. All right, so I got them all in there. I'm going to click Find Keywords. It's going to go through and do the basically seeing what all of these competitors have as keywords that they're actually showing up for and ranking for. And what this does, the Keyword Scout, what we actually pull is the top 1,000,000 search terms from Amazon. So we actually know that these are search terms that are relevant and have some kind of search volume from what Amazon is showing. So that's what we're going to want to do. The analysis is now done. So we can scroll down here a little bit. The first thing I'll do is I'm going to sort on this search frequency rank column. So I want to get the best, the lowest number first. And it's a ranking system. So the lower the rank, the better, right? Number 1 is the best. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. And then what I want to do is, you can see we have 1,300, almost 1,400 keywords in here. So I want to go through and get probably, A good place to start is get like the top 50 keywords that actually make sense and are super relevant to your product. So we're going to go through here and start taking out some of those that don't make sense. So
Or that are too broad. When they say
or that are too broad, exactly.
Right. So when we say don't make sense, we mean it doesn't make sense for this analysis. If they're too broad, you don't want them. So obviously glasses
Exactly.
is
A little
way
bit
too
too broad.
And as you go through this, Mark will start to delete words that are either not relevant or way too broad that we wouldn't consider using.
Right. And in this case, okay, glasses, it's probably going to be containing, in a lot of these other ones. So I can just get rid of it because I'm not going to go after that specific keyword, but I'll have it in a phrase, right? So let me just do that. Okay, so the next one here, cups. That's a little bit too broad. It's obviously applicable, but we probably have it in a phrase. So I'm just going to get rid of that as well. Whiskey glasses, very applicable. Drinking glasses, very applicable. Apartment essentials for first apartment. That's a nice keyword. That's probably
Could be a good long tail.
Yeah, people looking for stuff that's not going to break in their apartment. So that makes sense. Plastic wine glasses. So this is not a wine glass. This is a whiskey glass. So I'm probably just going to exclude that. Glass cups, yep, that's fine. We can obviously have something that's before this keyword, like plastic glass cups or unbreakable glass cups, something like that. Apartment essentials, yeah, sure. It's a little bit general, but we'll keep it in there just for kind of SEO purposes. Wine tumbler, great one. Glass, a little bit too general. Cup, again, a little bit too general. We'll have that later on, and we have cups here as plural. Wine tumbler, Joseph, nope. Cocktail glasses, yep. Kitchen set, a little bit too broad.
It could be coffee mugs. That could
Right.
be too many things, yeah.
Right.
One words I think we need to stay away from.
Yeah, whiskey's going to be too broad.
And guys, just in general, most of the time you don't want single words.
Right.
You want to find that word in a phrase, though.
Exactly.
And I already know we didn't point it out, but if you look further down, I know that whiskey is in there. So whiskey glass is going to be great, but you don't want whiskey.
Exactly. Home essentials, kind of a little bit too broad, but hey, let's get rid of it. Water glasses, that could work. Glasses set, yep. Whiskey glass, yep. Plastic tumblers, great. Glassware, that's not what we want, right? So let's get rid of that. Wine glasses, set of 4, yep. That's okay. Okay, this is a wine. Let's get rid of that. Cups for kitchen, sure. Glasses for men, yeah, sure. Now that could be, let's check that. That could be sunglasses, right?
Yeah.
So let's check what.
I'd be careful with that.
Yeah, let's see. So that's going to show up sunglasses or glasses for men.
Reading
so
glasses.
let's get rid of that keyword. Plastic glasses, sure. Plastic cups reusable, great. Glencairn whiskey glass. I'm not even sure. Let's check what that is. That is kind of a taller, funky looking one. So that's not what we want. Let's get rid of that. Glassware set. Okay, so this also is going to be glass, right? So we probably don't want this. Let's see if any of our others show up here. Triton.
Plastic tumblers.
Yep.
Yep. I think we don't want to keep that.
Yep. Okay, good. Let's keep that. Plastic cups reusable. Glassware sets. Glass tumbler, sure. Drinking glasses, set of 8. So ours is a set of 4, so let's get rid of that. Wine tumblers is not wine. Bourbon gifts for men, that's probably going to be a good one. Let's check what shows up here. Okay, we got kind of a gift set with the glasses.
That works. That
yeah,
works.
it's kind of applicable. You got a couple fun stuff in here as well, so that makes sense. We'll keep that. Highball glasses, I think that's a different type of glass. It's like the tall guys. Yeah. So that doesn't make sense to go after. We'll get rid of that. Plastic drinking glasses, yeah, that's good. Colored glassware, ours is not colored, so we'll get rid of that. New home essential items, again, kind of broad, but it could be very applicable. And if we have that in our bullets somewhere, that could be nice. Plastic margarita glasses, not margarita glass, so it's going to be a whole different arena. So we'll get rid of that.
Yeah, it's different shape, different type.
Yep. Rocks glasses. I think that's a brand, but let's check that. No, but it's kind of the same kind of stuff.
Yeah,
so that's a good one. Plastic dinnerware set. That's probably going to be more for plates and stuff.
Plates,
Let's see
dishes.
if our competitors show up here. Not really. It's mainly just plates and dishes.
Yeah, I'd stay away from that.
Yep.
I think that's a wrong category.
Yep. Glass cup, we're probably, let's see. Yeah, I mean, here's plastic tumblers. A lot
we
of
could fit in
other
there.
competitors, yeah, but we have several of ours that could go in there. Okay, bourbon, again, that's kind of too broad, so we'll get rid of that. Wine glasses instead of 12, we're not 12, we're 4. Acrylic wine glasses, again, we're not wine. Glass set, so it's, again, that's probably going to be just a toss-up. Let's check it. There's a couple, that have 2 different types in there. Amazon Basics.
That potential.
Yeah, potential, right? Okay, let's keep it in. Cup set, so again, probably similar. We can keep that in there. Plastic.
We'll check out cup.
Yeah.
That could be coffee cup, maybe. See if it.
So here's the Amazon.
Yep. Okay. Yep. No. Okay. Yeah. No.
Couple,
that'll
right?
work. That'll work. You got some coffee mugs, but you also have the glasses.
Yep.
So, leave that.
Plastic wine glasses with stem. It's not wine. Bourbon glass. Okay, so that's going to be a good one. Plastic cocktail glasses. That's a great one. Drinking cups. Sure. Old-fashioned glass. So this is probably going to be the... I mean, we have our other guys showing up in here. I think the old-fashioned has that kind of wrinkled, kind of stuff happening on it. But we have a lot of our other similar products to ours showing up here as well. So, let's keep it in. It could be workable. Plastic martini glasses, nope. Unbreakable dinnerware, again, it's probably going to be plates. Let's check it. Yep, plates and cups and stuff. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to go after that. Unbreakable dinnerware, unbreakable wine glass. Again, it's not wine. Bar glasses, could be something, right?
Yeah,
that
definitely.
could be very applicable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sweet. Plastic wine cups, so again, not wine. Kitchen items, probably going to be too general. Probably going to be more along the lines of that stuff. Yep, there we go. Okay, we'll get rid of that. Kitchen items, kitchen sets. Again, I don't think it's going to be workable. Drinking glasses instead of 12, we're not 12. Juice glasses, interesting. Let's check that. So as you can see, we're kind of going through and really honing in on these keywords as what's the most relevant keywords for your product, but also they have, as you can see in here, the search volume on these, we're still below 100,000. So that's generally we know below 100,000, that's the highest searched words, right? So we're just making sure that anything that we're going to be building into our listing actually makes sense to go into our listing while having this high search frequency rank. So lastly, juice glasses. Yeah, not really. There's a bunch of kind of larger cups. Here's one that's similar, but here's another one. I mean, why not? It's
borderline.
Yeah, it's borderline. Why not? Silicone wine glasses, so we're not wine.
We're not silicone.
Right.
Although the category is
Similar,
unbreakable.
right?
Yeah.
Yep. Plastic cups, dishwasher safe. That's a good one. Whiskey set. Yeah, that's probably a good one. Bourbon glasses. So I think you had bourbon glass up there. Yep. And then now you have glasses.
Yep, I'd leave that.
Glass cup set. Yep. So this is probably more glass inclined, but we probably have a lot of our competitors showing up here, so it makes sense for us to go after that as well. Yeah, there's a few of them in there. Cool. We'll keep that in there. Vasos, that's a different language. We can see what kind of stuff shows up here. Kind of the taller glasses. I'm not even sure what that, what it's saying, what that word is in translated, but looks like it might be more towards. Yeah, well, I'm not going to build it into my listing, so I'm just going to get rid of it. Reusable plastic cups, yep. Whiskey glass set, another different language. I'll get rid of that. Outdoor wine glasses, again, we're not wine. Plastic, too general.
Yeah, too general.
Glass drinking glasses. Okay, so that's probably not going to be what we want, but let's check it. Let's see what we got. We're up to 94,000 now. We do have this guy here, plastic tumblers. Obviously, if someone buys our product and they think, they did a search for glass and we showed up and they bought us, they're obviously gonna be like, oh, these are not glass, and they might get some refunds. So it might not be the best one to be pushing aggressively on, but it might be an okay keyword to have somewhere in the back end of your listing. So I'm gonna keep it just in case. Where were we? Glass drinking glasses, plastic wine glasses, stemless. We'll get rid of that.
Kitchen is good. Scotch is good. Cup set when you jump down. That could be, because we saw before cups with coffee cups and glasses. I would keep that.
Yep. We keep seeing Amazon's thing come up here.
They're including cups.
Yep.
Very loosely.
Yep. Acrylic glasses, drinkware, sure. Kitchen sets for home. It's probably going to be more of the pots and pans and stuff and knives.
Yep. Wrong category.
And we'll get rid of that.
And pretty much now we're crossing over up to the 100,000.
Yeah. So let's stop there. You can obviously go further down. This is definitely an area where you want to spend a lot of time going through and analyzing. There could be longer tail versions of a lot of these keywords that are going to show up, in the 200s, 300, 400, 500 range. So you're looking for these phrases that are going to be very particular to your product. So in this case, I'm just going to stop at 100,000. I'm going to put here my maximum that I want to show is 100,000.
And we're not just stopping there for the video or for sake of time. You want to try to keep it at 100,000 or less. Now, if you're in a category where you look at the 100,000 mark and there's some amazing great keywords that go a little bit beyond it, well, of course, it's logical, go and grab those. Or you may find that depending on the category and the niche, there may just not be a lot under 100,000. It's possible.
Right.
But the goal is you want to be between that 10,000 to 100,000, should give you a lot of excellent SFRs. And now we'll go through, how do you choose them? How do you pick them? And one of the missing links that people also misunderstand is there's really different philosophy on choosing keywords. We're looking at the listing optimization now and trying to nail those perfect SFR money keywords.
Right.
However, guys, we're also going to address later and in the future segment, which keywords do you use for your pay-per-click ranking? Now, those are different keywords than what we may be choosing here. Here, we're not worried about the cost per click, how expensive a click is based on a competition of a keyword. We're looking for all keywords that are even the best of the best that we could use for ranking organically to be on page one.
Yep. And then an interesting side note that some people might not be thinking with is if you're finding a new product or starting off, you're brand new and you're getting your first product, when you're doing your analysis or doing whatever kind of research steps you do to find a product, this is actually a smart way to find products that have a high search volume, there's a potential for you to jump into that arena and get sales, right? Because we know that there's 76 keywords here that are in the top 100,000, whereas some categories, when you do this analysis, you pull up all the best sellers, you put them all in here, and there's only 10, 15 keywords that are below 100,000. Everything else is above 100,000. You know that it's not an as popular item because it just doesn't have a lot of keywords that are in that top 100,000 search volume, right? So that's another aspect to think with when you're doing product research. Okay, so now we've got these 76 keywords. We're going to want to build these into our listing. So this is a very time-consuming part where you're going to actually take this stuff and actually build it into your listing. But I'm going to kind of show you kind of the basics of that. Very simple way to do this. What I want to do is I'm going to first save this. So I have it all saved inside of Managed by Stats if I want to refer to it later. So I'll just say cocktail review. Okay, I'm going to add that as a view. So now it's saved my filters. It's saved all these keywords that I got rid of. It's going to save this view here. It's also going to save all these competitors that I've analyzed, right?
Excellent.
So now what I want to do is I'm going to send, since I've gone through these keywords in detail, I don't need to go to the distiller tool, which is the second tool here. This is kind of like a tool that you can use to kind of narrow down the amount of keywords that you have to be more specific, but we already basically did that in here. So I'm just going to go straight over to Wordsmith. And since this is actually not a product that's inside of my Managed by Stats, what I'm going to do is, I'll send it over to Wordsmith. And I'm going to just do, so you can see here I have different products. Let me get rid of this. So I'm just going to put it on one of my products that I do have the data for. Let's see, does that make sense? Or should I just do it? No, let me do it on a draft. There we go. I'll do it on this draft here. That way I'm not going to be replacing data over one of my other drafts that I did. And on the keywords, I'm going to replace all the keywords. So in this draft, I probably have some other keywords. I'm going to replace all those keywords with what I just did, right? So I'm going to replace that here. So now I can see all these keywords from the analysis that we just did. I can see if I have these in the listing. So unfortunately, this is a different product. So, but it's going to be similar, right, to the product that we're analyzing. We can go ahead and kind of redo all these, grab the data from here, like this. So I'm going to take this product here, copy the title. And I'm just going to replace out this stuff so we can see in more detail here. So we'll grab the bullet points. And this way we'll have a real good analysis of what are actually in here and what are not.
You may want to explain, like, why are we doing this? Like, what is this actually doing, and make sure everybody understands that we're basically now looking at the listing optimization.
Yep. And this is still part of this first part of the trifecta, where we want to make sure that the keywords that we have are all going to be inside of your listing. So here I'm kind of taking each of the, I'm going to take the title, the bullet points, and the description, and I'm going to put it into this analysis tool to see if I have any of these keywords in my listings, my listing already. And if not, I can then take these keywords and build them into my listing in the appropriate spots. So just a couple more seconds here and we'll have all of this in here. This is just kind of organically walking through all of these actions here, right?
So we're cutting and pasting the
Yep.
actual listing of the subject product,
Yep.
and then we'll run the analysis of that against the keywords we chose.
Exactly. So I'm just placing those right in there. And the last one here, copy that. And I'm going to paste that in here. All right. And then let's just grab the description as well to make sure we get that. And we got some enhanced brand content on this one, so this is fine. We'll just grab this kind of stuff here. I'll just grab all of this. And might get funky with those images, but let's delete that. And I'll paste that in here. All right, so now we got all the text in here for that listing as well. And now we can actually see from our analysis here, apartment essentials for first apartment doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in our title, doesn't exist in our bullet points or description. We don't have the backend search terms for this or subject matter, but if this was our listing, we would actually be able to import the data from Amazon itself and pull in these backend search terms and subject matter details. But now we can see, okay, for this one, drinking glasses, we can see we have it in a bullet point, we have it in the description, we have it in the subject matter, and it's a total of 4 times that we're using this keyword. This one here, whiskey glasses, we can see it's in the title. If we scroll up here, we can see whiskey glasses in the title. We can see it's in the bullet point, and we also have it 4 times in the description. And then all these other ones we don't have. So this one, cocktail glasses, we have. These ones we don't have. So now you're actually going to see, okay, how can you take some of these and build them in, right? So we could take an example of this, right? Apartment essentials. So find a good spot where we can throw this in, right?
I would say the last one, check out handsomely boxed. This is talking about where it belongs, where you could put it, and we want to grab the word apartment essentials. So we talk about home and bar accessories, and we could even say easily we could slip that in.
Yep, home and bar accessories. Maybe right here, home.
Or apartment essentials, comma, And there you go.
Yep. Okay, perfect. Oh, and I misspelt it there, so it didn't recognize it. There we go. So now it sees that you put that keyword in there. It shows you that it's in that bullet point. And now we know we have that keyword inside of our listing now, and we're going to get SEO for it because we've built it into our listing. So that's the key point of taking all of these, and now that we know these are all absolutely relevant keywords to your product, you want to build these into your product as best as possible. So there's many schools of thought on how to do this. The main thing is getting the most applicable and highest search volume keywords into your title, and then go into your bullet points, and then your search terms. Now, search terms has in relation to your title, it's got a very similar ranking, SEO ranking. So the search terms that you put into the search terms field are going to have a similar weight to what you have in your title up here. So you want to think with getting obviously the most relevant ones in your title first, so you have them there, and then work on to your search terms and bullet points. So getting as many of them into these areas as possible. Once you have that done, now start looking at, okay, what search terms do you not still have? So an easy way to do this is click this little button down here, show only keywords missing in product data. So we go like that. And now we know that these are all the ones that we don't have in our listing still. So you then work those into your description or put them into subject matter. And once you've gotten as many of these as you can into your listing, you're now going to have a lot better SEO. And you'll be able to now take these and go on to the second part of the trifecta, which is what we're going to cover in the next webinar.
And let's take a look at the title, which is always critical. Scroll back and let's take a look at that. And we see that now unbreakable, that was not one of the terms in there?
Yeah, it looks like not. Like,
was it not, these competitors didn't use it?
Yeah. It didn't show up as a thing, or if it did, it's going to show up a lot further down in the search frequency. So we can go and check that out really quick. Let's open this on a new tab. We'll go back to, okay, it knew that this is where we left off, so it kept that open. So if we get rid of this max here, all right, so now if we do a search for show unbreakable, so now we see unbreakable glasses drinking is 136, unbreakable glass 177.
So yeah, they're all
above,
high.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then we can try shatterproof.
Now this was the reason, if you recall earlier, that we grabbed competitors that had different words that we weren't identifying and trying to flush out through this process. All those words important. Now we still may include them,
right?
And we may have them somewhere in the description. We don't have to eliminate them, but we're seeing they're not really that powerful. So here's a situation that, in this case, it's okay to leave it in the title. But here you see, wow, I thought unbreakable was really important. And you're seeing, but no, if it doesn't have a good SFR, it's not a strong, powerful word. You may rethink your title and realize maybe you're eating up space and you're using a word and you're eating up that real estate, and it's not a powerful word.
Right.
So you could always take that word out of your title. So we learned something from this process. Maybe put that word in the back end,
right?
Or move it into the description and free up room, because what we do want to do is we want to find the real powerful words with lower SFRs, stronger SFR, search frequency ranking, and way better money keywords to get into the title.
Yeah.
So maybe we want to remove unbreakable.
Absolutely. Or change it, because like plastic tumblers is showing up 24,000, right? So people are actually looking for plastic tumblers. That's what they think with first. And instead of saying unbreakable or shatterproof, they're not going to think with that word. They're going to think with, oh, I just need a plastic cup. I need something that's not going to break. So they're thinking with plastic tumblers first. And you can see that's a lot more popular of a search term. So you might go, okay, well, unbreakable sounds cool or sounds, totally applicable. Yeah, but that might be losing you search volume.
Exactly.
Whereas you could go after this.
We have this preconditioned notion that, oh, that's what we call it. It's a great word.
Right.
But the data always speaks to us and tells us it's really not that important. And the reason I'd pull it out is we want that real estate, like I was saying earlier. So I would recraft the title and maybe consider that plastic tumblers, plastic glasses are there, and then we have some of these other words like plastic drinking glasses. So we can actually say plastic. If you go back for a second there, we could go back and we like plastic tumblers. We could say plastic tumblers, plastic reusable tumblers. So we're seeing that reusable is actually a stronger phrase. Where it's being used is maybe better than breakable. And we see also reusable plastic cups. So reusable is
plastic
coming up.
Cocktail glasses.
So I would take some of these phrases, rework it, and remove words that we don't need in our title.
Exactly. So as you can see here, plastic tumblers, right? So we could say, and we'll put the our brand at the end, but we could say, let's see.
Plastic tumbler whiskey glasses.
Plastic tumblers whiskey glasses, and we could do Triton at the beginning. It's obviously not a well-known term, so we can say plastic tumblers, shatterproof Triton, something or other. We can get rid of double rocks. Kind of doesn't make sense.
And you can even put a comma after plastic tumblers, so you're saying two phrases. It's plastic tumblers, whiskey glasses, shatterproof, and we're starting to work in the keywords and actually going back and rebuilding the title.
Yep.
So that the optimization is stronger and you have a more of the SFR keywords that are being used in the optimization. Now again, it's going to be a different strategy that we'll cover when it comes to choosing what keywords we want to drive rank for.
Right. And it looks like I left wine in there, wine tumbler, but we can get rid of that. So we'll do add more keywords. And where's wine? Wine. There it is. All right. All right, so we got apartment essentials. So we could build in some of these longer ones that are not totally vital keywords for your title. They could go into your bullets or description somewhere. We can do glasses instead of glass cups because that might confuse people. We can say glasses set. Dishwasher safe.
Now also, it was showing us that shatterproof, we thought unbreakable shatterproof was so powerful, and we purposely looked for competitors that had those words. Those words we did put into our analysis, did we not?
Yeah, absolutely. But they were all showing up after 100,000. So it just didn't make sense for them to be in here yet.
So then we know that by choosing the titles the way we did, we forced the analysis of words like shatterproof, like unbreakable, and we're realizing that, wow, we just thought those were cool words, but maybe they're not.
Right.
And sure enough, they're not.
Right.
So plastic tumblers, whiskey glasses, and shatterproof also may be something we want to move out of there or put further towards the end of the title.
Right. So this is where you really need to take time. As a seller, you need to take this time and build these into your listing and just do it in a very smart manner. Make it so it actually reads correctly, it reads nicely. You have the most important stuff in your title and your bullets and search terms first, and then build all the rest of it into your description. Once you've done all that, now you have the first point of the trifecta actually fully in place. And that's going to set you up for success later on. The second point of the trifecta is taking these keywords and actually having them in Keyword Tracker. And I'm just going to show you that right now, how we go about setting that up. And then we'll go into detail. We're going to give it some time to actually show us some results, but then we'll go into some detail analyzing those results and using that to then have successful campaigns in the future, right?
And before you jump to that, a couple of points on the title, because this isn't completely built.
Right.
What I do is I work in a spreadsheet, and sometimes I'll list the title, and then I'll cut and paste it, put it below, and I'll alter it, and cut and paste it, put it below, and I'll alter it. And you want to, it's a word game. You want to get all the words to blend as best as possible, have the strongest SFR words in the title. But one of the other things, which is a missing link that people ignore, is, yes, we're looking at these words, but keywords, we refer to them as keywords, search terms, keywords, but they're phrases. They're not just one word.
Right.
So you want to keep the words in the order of the original phrase. So plastic tumblers, if for some reason, as an example, you would have reversed this, it's not the same. Now, it's okay if plastic and tumblers was separated and there was a word between it, the word plastic and the word tumblers are still in the same order as the original phrase. So you want to start keeping the phrases intact and try to start with the original phrase. As you build out the title, you can't always use phrases. You're not going to have enough character space. However, you want to maintain the order, and you want to start merging from the list the phrases as best as possible, so that when you're done, you should be able to go to your top SFR most relevant words, and almost all of the top 5 or 10 should be in the title, where you can artfully blend them in.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay, perfect. So then what we're going to want to do is, now we take these words. We got about 76 of them in here. I'm just going to click on this one, add more keywords, so I can just get all the words. I'm going to highlight them all, copy them, and then go back to here. So now I'm going to go to Keyword Tracker. I'm going to open that up on a new tab. And we're going to track this product. So we'll actually show this in our next thing. So I'm going to add this ASIN in here, which is this one here. So we'll grab the ASIN. And we'll say plastic whiskey glasses. And then all the keywords, I'm going to grab those again. I should have copied them earlier, but I'll do it this way again here, like that. Copy those, and we're going to paste them in here. So now we have all these keywords that we're adding in here, and we're going to be able to see, here they are. Tomorrow morning, we'll be able to see, okay, the search volume will show up in here, and we'll see how we actually rank for these keywords. And then we'll be able to actually analyze that, and we'll go into that in detail in our next webinar.
And then, of course, if you rebuilt your title, you want to let it sit there for a few days.
Yep.
Because that's going to affect the ranking, that's going to affect your pay-per-click, etc. But then at least you've built out the most powerful title using all the SFR words that you could possibly use.
Yep.
Then we'll come back. We'll come back in the next episode. We're going to see how these words, for our listing, with the better title, how they're all ranking in the tracker. And from there, we'll go to the next part of the trifecta.
That's right.
Perfect. Okay, good. Well, I guarantee that I need to clear my throat. Sorry. No, I guarantee that everyone is going to have a bunch of questions. And kind of like how we're planning on doing this, didn't we said Tuesday, 2 p.m.
Tuesday, 2 p.m.
Tuesday, 2 p.m.
Yep.
Perfect. So Tuesday, 2 p.m., we're going to have a Q&A session. So the way we're going to do this, everyone who's registered for this, we're going to send you both the event link for the Q&A session as well as the event link for the second part of this 3-part series. So you will, as long as you caught this, you're going to get an invite to the next couple bits. Now, if you're seeing this as a replay, same thing. Just go ahead and you'll register through the Zoom link. If you don't get it for whatever reason, reach out to support@managedbystats.com, and we will make sure with our support team to send over that info for you. If they're PPC guys, do we want to send them maybe even over to support on your guys' side too, or should we just keep it on?
Managed by Stats. Right? Yeah, keep
Perfect.
it simple.
So we'll keep it there, guys. So again, if you have any questions, definitely shoot them over in the chat here right now. Or again, let's say you think of something over the weekend. let's say you're building out exactly the strategy that they're telling you to build here, and
Curtis?
you hit a point. Yeah,
Curtis, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Because if they're building this along with us or thinking through it, this is a great time as a workshop to say, okay, let me replicate this, go and
exactly.
do it, and get to this point. Get to the point where you built it out, you found the competitors, found the keywords, inserted them, and see while you're doing this, even is there an MBS module that you're not familiar with for some reason. Maybe you never used the tracker. Did you ever use the Scout? Do you have questions about it? So we can get everybody all together up to this point.
Exactly.
So that way we can look back and say, okay, everybody's with us, and this will make a major improvement in their listing, in their research. And they may find in doing this, maybe their title was wrong. Maybe something they did wasn't right, that they could correct it, and then it's going to be, oh, wait a minute. Is it this, is it that? They're going to have their questions, and this way they could develop real strong questions so that everybody's in step with us before we go to the next section.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that sometimes Q&A sessions can be lengthy. That's why we figured we'd separate the Q&A from, already being here for like an hour or whatever we're at this point. So give yourself that opportunity over the weekend to collect up those questions. If you have questions over the weekend or after this moment right now, people are firing questions already. So we'll get to all of your guys' questions that I'm seeing right here. But if you guys have questions over the weekend, send them again also to support@managedbystats.com and just title it as let's say ranking bootcamp questions. Ranking bootcamp questions, and we'll take all those questions and we'll throw them in for the next part. Other than that, I say, we've already given them probably a lot to chew on. So let's wrap this bad boy up.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, guys. Then we will see you guys on Tuesday. If you don't have any questions, don't show up to the Q&A. Don't worry about it. We'll see you guys next week for part 2. Take care.
Bye, guys.